Because there's a lot of things that affect the way we make plays. Other bodies, our opponents, blockers, as well as our teammates affect how we converge and how we leverage the ball carrier. Lines on the field, we can all see this by the tackling prowess of the sidelines, right? 100% tackling rate by our sidelines. They always make a play. Being able to use sidelines as well as the strange and unusual things that happen to ball carriers when a first down marker is in sight or a goal line. Athletes, ball carriers will do different things when that goal line, when that first down marker is in line. And we've got to abide by that rule accordingly as well. A seemingly open field play with a goal line at stake sometimes has to turn into less about leverage and more about convergence, because we have to take a chance to make that play.
Yeah, if I can interrupt there, second this up. It's amazing to me how we've always done good jobs making training tapes of our cover two. We make training tapes of our spin out passing game. I never made a training tape of tackling. From game footage from last weekend, or especially the first week of August, I should have had training tapes of tackling so that some of our skull sessions that first week of doubles see missed tackles and made tackles. So things you're saying have sort of, and I never thought, do any of you have such tapes? So
yeah, I definitely agree where you're coming from. It's about seeing the play in the field because of the moving bodies, the sideline, the ball getting on the perimeter, even the ball getting funneled between certain other tacklers and blockers kind of change the dynamics. So it's not necessarily it was all set up in a drill, but we're actually seeing it how it happens in a game. The game changers, as we talk about those things that are real. Guys hit people differently when they blindside them, right? Guys sometimes go after the ball when they know they have a chance to punch it out, or a tackler is stable in. Those game changers change our technique a little bit. Other than sort of a standard strip drill, right, where the guy runs, he's going at half speed. Tackler, ball carrier pops it out, which is good. The kid learns it, but the transferability isn't there as much as we like. It's not a useless drill. How can we add value to it? I think some of these drills that we're going to go over can find ways to get those game-changing plays involved. Just to keep you guys interactive. What do you tackle with? Just let you think a second. Okay, it's the head, the shoulder, arms, legs. What? Anyone got any input? Just keep us fresh, because I've been talking. Yes, sir.
Well, eyes.
Eyes, yes.
I mean, that's the first stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else? Any legs? Legs? Absolutely. So say again?
That's why I always go to feet.
Feet, yeah. I tell you what, it's similar to like, you have one
I
time?
was going to say your whole body.
Yeah, it's a whole body. You know what, that's the whole thing is like, everyone's right in the sense of what we're looking at here. We're looking at it more holistically. A lot of times, it's not necessarily a trap, but people just think of tackling because we learned to take your helmet, put it underneath his chin, and break his meal plate kind of thing. Well, yeah, that comes in contact, but because of not only the efficacy of getting a 14-year-old to do that, as well as the liability that can occur if that's the verbiage you're using. What things can we say to athletes, especially now as we're going through this? And you're right on the money, Coach. I think I've always thought of this because a good receiving coach taught me how to catch a ball better. And I was like, what do you catch a ball with your hands? He's like, no, not partly. You do it with your eyes, right? Your eyes are going to be the most important thing. As you guys were referring, the feet are just as important, but we've got to look at those two things. And really, as we're looking at an off-season plan, we can train those at high speed, high demand right now and keep things very, very safe. So, pardon my terrible merging here, Iron Mike with the Roadrunner, but that's the idea. The eyes, what we're looking at, how we use them, how we see the big picture, the small things, the details, and then what our feet do as our eyes lead them is the things that we really tackle. I'm going to go through each of these blocks, and I've got some more movies to see because I think the video is worth a million words to see this. But here are our phases of tackling. No groundbreaking stuff here. All this stuff is wording, cues, coaching points that other coaches in football, rugby, Australian rules football, defensive tactics training have used to create a broad program that can affect everyone. And that's just kind of ways in which we want to see it from a philosophical standpoint, from an execution standpoint. Save this stuff in your notes. Teach the kids the drills, let the drills do the coaching. You just got to set them up right and know what it is you're coaching. We talk about closing the distance. Point A is us, the tackler. Point B, the ball carrier. It's that trains moving in the night towards each other. One's moving at 300 miles per hour, the other 200, this far apart. How do we get to a point that we're able to converge and or leverage this ball carrier as a tackler? So this closing the distance is closing that distance from A to B, knowing that for the most part in football, he's running at you. How do we close that distance and be in a position now to set ourselves up to make a tackle? And it really comes down to understanding how we're converging and leveraging this guy as we get there. And I think seeing bad examples is a great way to learn this, because we want to see when some of these points, these tenets aren't in. When the athlete doesn't leverage, doesn't get on one side or another, when they don't necessarily decrease the distance quickly. They're not accelerating to get there, they're chopping their feet, and their pads aren't square. If too many of these things are out of place, this first phase of the tackle doesn't come into play, and now when we measure our missed tackles, we're losing these and our misses because we're just looking after yards after contact, right? We're just seeing when guys bounce off someone, but we're missing all the times where we lose. Hopefully it's not on effort, but it can be. We're losing tackles because we're not leveraging, converging, getting our pads square, those simple things that can make a difference. All right, moving on here. All right, so see the big boys do it. Just let you guys see it at first. I think this guy did a fine job, the safety at the top. Did a fine job of getting to the party, closing the distance. He loses all sorts of leverage here though, okay? What happens there, he just gets head up with the guy. So when the big boys start playing, they get so good. And look at this guy, I mean, he even knows it. He's seen it before. Watch his hand. Touchdown. It's easy, it's a layup when they get that good. But getting head up on a guy, losing leverage, just trying to converge or get to the party, isn't enough. Now I know there comes some football smarts there and some gut feelings that have to occur where knowing where your help is and seemingly in the open field. We always want to create leverage even in the open field, so it's not just one hand on the guy, you can bring him down. Here's a great drill, and we'll see this drill in more detail. This is a collegiate doing this. So you guys can see and how this drill is set up. All right, bam, right there. We've got the ball carrier coming downhill right on the 30-yard line there. Defender's coming off at an angle. What he's being taught to do here in seemingly an open field drill, this running back, the ball carrier, has 10 yards to make a move. He's taught on this 30-yard line, you're going to pick a side. Most guys preferably pick the side they're coming from. It's not so much that he is on the ball carrier's shoulder, but he's just sort of splitting his feet with the ball carriers, giving that guy the inkling to want to break away from the ball, away from the tackle. This athlete knows, this tackler knows that he never has to bite on a move into him because the ball carrier will run into him, especially in the open field, to secure the tackle. He knows, though, that he has to appropriately get across and make the tackle here. Now, this is a non-contact drill. Obviously, we're not in pads. What we're going to teach the athlete to do here is a two-hand touch below the waist. And I'm not talking about a hand check like this below the waist. I'm talking about bending the knees, keeping the chest up, the eyes on the target, and a two-hand touch with the palms facing up anywhere below this athlete's waist. And you'll see it right here. I think you'll agree as you see this play happen, this guy can secure the tackle when the pads were on. Let's see it in a game situation. Guy here. Now this is a funnel play, right? Kind of in the middle of the field, so you can see it's not just the open field stuff where this comes to play. It's open field, or it's funneled as well. His amazing ability to close the distance, trusting what his heart knows, creating that leverage. He could dive, he's still going to make the tackle. He got some help from his partner out there. But you guys get the drift when we're talking about this idea of closing that distance, being able to get to that point of attack, and doing so in a way where you're in a position to get the job done.